God is telling you that everything is coming together and that you are manifesting it. Don't dispute it and be confident in it. Overanalyzing is exhausting. Give up and trust, and let it find you this year. You will encounter a side of yourself that you never even realized existed, the mature, healed, and healthy you. You, the self-controlled, laser-focused, self-assured, perceptive, and you are the most patient, graceful, faithful, and highest of all. The universe will occasionally require you to exercise patience. This is not a punishment. However, since it's shielding you from specific energies and getting you ready for the next phase, believe in the timing of there is a divine order to life, so have trust in the process and don't allow fear get in the way. Hold you back. I am the God of second chances. I am your courage and power. Come to me in contrition, and I will pardon you. Do not worry about anything instead. Send me a prayer with your worries because I adore you with an eternal love. Nothing can ever take you away from me because I am the all-seeing God. I am conscious of your hardships and victories. The conflicts you encounter are don't worry about tomorrow. I'm fighting for you, not just you. I am wealthy, money magnetically wealthy, and I lead a prosperous life. I'm no longer worried about money because it's abundant in my life. I'm really fortunate that money comes to me easily and that I deserve it all. The abundance of life, I accept special financial offers, and I'll be shocked I am worthy of an incredible opportunity that will change my life very soon. I've been granted this blessing. I am prosperous, wise, and abundant. And wealth pour into my life with ease. The world backs me and my divine purpose. Since He created the world and everything in it, He is the God. Is the Lord of heaven and earth, not a creature of human hands or built temples. Cannot meet His requirements as He is the source of His own life and breath. Even though He was God and met all needs, He did not consider rather of holding on to the idea of equality with God. He gave up His divine advantages. He was born as a human person and assumed the lowly role of a slave. He humbled Himself in response to God when He took on human form and died on a cross, a criminal's death. I forgive myself for the past. I open I am kind and understanding toward myself and all the good things that lie ahead. Others, I am the architect of my own reality, and I draw in just what I put out there. I am deserving of unwavering love and positive energy, so send it out into the universe. And optimism, I am accepting of change and learning to be at ease with my pace as I'm getting closer to becoming the person I know I'm meant to be. Daily well-being, I take pride in all I'm doing to create a better life is what I make of it. I know that things don't always work out the way I want them to. Always proceed as I had planned, but I trust that the divine purpose for my circumstances in life always work out for me because I have control over how I react to circumstances. I use my kindly provide words of encouragement and boost in everything I do. Be loving, tenacious, and compassionate while I try to create the life I want. Have faith that everything will come together and turn out well for me at the appropriate moment. I am focused on having simply myself because I am confident in who I am and what I can accomplish. Good self-perception, I am thrilled and motivated by what I have today has to offer. I've been working on being happy, and I see results changes. I've made a lot of progress, and my rewards are plentiful. I'm pleased with where I am, looking forward to where I'm heading today, celebrating my consistency and dedication to my well-being. Everything is good, and I'm thankful for my blessings. I have everything I need to build the life I want, every day. I have faith that everything I desire is on its way to me at now moment. I never receive a goal without the resources to follow it, therefore I let go of the concern, since what is every aspect of my life is collaborating with mine to lead me to wherever I am meant to go. I am prepared to present myself to the world as I am distinct and exceptional. I'm taking a stand and letting people know who I am. Blossoming and developing into a person greater than my surroundings, because I am being authentic. I'm shining, living up to my full potential, and I'll use my experiences to sort, organize, and make clear what I want. I'll trust that life is always changing. I will continue to work with you to achieve what's greatest for your highest good. Centered on my happiness, since I am a magnet for miracles and I deserve all the joys in my life. Manifesting with ease, I have faith that things are changing for the better. A breathtaking change approaching, and I have faith that I will appear where I am needed. I have faith that I possess the necessary abilities to overcome any obstacles I face. Have faith that I am acting appropriately to secure my victory. Have the people I need at my side to help me move, and I know that when I let go, I'm preparing space for plenty of goodness. I have faith that my rewards will arrive shortly. I'm glad I can go past the doubt that prevents me from pursuing my goals. I won't ever wait to develop into a habit. I will fervently pursue my goals and act. I will appreciate myself and each day that I'm given. I'll go above my procrastinating and accept that I am in charge of creating abundance. My success and happiness, so I'll continue to have faith in the method that suits me. My mission is to discover that magic exists in the moments when I concentrate on being thankful. Fortunately, I am happy and confident that I am connecting with the depth of who I am, what I have accomplished, and how I am flowing and producing. Incredible development. I'm doing a great job taking care of my well-being. I act in accordance with my soul's true desires, not worrying about what other people think of me. My heart is now overflowing with gratitude, wants to do regardless of what other people think. That I completely accept who I am, and that every day I get more self-assured and content and acceleration. Therefore those who are in position should get ready, set, and get ready to go. Let those who are stubborn and unyielding swiftly turn to God, since there will soon be an acceleration, a tremendous upsurge, numerous huge triumphs, the Lord's ascension, and His people are going to speed up now that rivers don't drink their own water and trees don't consume their own fruit, flowers do not proliferate, and the sun does not shine on them. We are creatures of nature, we live for others and their fragrance for themselves. No matter how hard things get, we are all meant to support one another. Life is good when you're joyful, but it's much better when you make other people happy today. Keep in mind that there are countless reasons for you to continue moving forward and developing. With so many options all around you, concentrate on the positive things that will give you a fresh sense of life and repaired, and when you look back, things won't appear to be as awful as they. Enjoy your progress, because life is about making decisions, and you will have to make some. Even though you will regret them, you should view them as successes rather than failures. It's up to you to choose to take care of yourself, do better, and live fully. Love. You become a stronger version of yourself by letting go of the past and becoming close to the door behind you now. Select opportunities, and remember that new beginnings. You are who you choose to be. In the end, it's all about the little things in life. Having long-lasting talks and strong bonds while laughing with your loved ones, spending hours being goofy and indulging your inner child could produce cherished memories. Spend every moment with those in your vicinity and never overlook the small things. Since things are genuinely the most magical, the adversary has been attempting to remove you. He has known you are a person of destiny since you were a child. Understands you've been showered with favor and that you have the makings of greatness, so he's been putting in extra hours to try to stop your presence, limit and silence your voice. Your potential and prevent you from making a lasting impression, yet those forces haven't capable of stopping you. It's because you have a defender who has been. He never stops keeping an eye on you, fending against the darkness, and those forces from claiming your life, even while you're dejected and long to buckle. The Lord is saying, "Can you look to me again for hope?" Throne so we may speak. I need to tell you so much about your faith has not been in vain. You'll soon realize that I was putting everything together for your good is now coming to me, my child, holy people. He loves you, and you must wear yourself with compassion, mercy, humility, gentleness, and patience. Accept one another's shortcomings, and extend forgiveness to those who have offended. You must forgive them more than anything else because the Lord pardoned you. Give yourselves the love that keeps us all in perfect harmony and allow as members of a one body, let the peace that comes from Christ rule in your hearts. You are expected to live in harmony and to be grateful at all times. The truth is only located in a single location, Jesus Christ. The depression door is open to ruin your fate if you fail to properly defend your heart with the truth of God's message. I ask God to provide you the ability to guard your heart today against anything that would steal your happiness. May we never give up the priceless gift of your presence for things like anxiety and stress. It's enough that XY and melancholy that aren't meant for us to carry. Your presence will always be sufficient to empty my heart of negative ideas and replace them with ideas that please you, Lord, because you have equipped and forever grateful me. Amen. For every good deed, fear not only takes away your tranquility, yet it also steals your confidence. The moment dread sets in, all confidence vanishes. That you will be able to achieve, like Peter did. Peter was the one who managed to escape. Everything was going well until he got in the boat and began to walk on the water with Jesus. Turned away from Jesus to gaze at the wind and the waves. That action made him fearful, and he started to plummet, losing all faith. And the fear tells you that you can't, according to the Lord's word, and when you stay in the boat that most of us like, allowing fear to steal your confidence. Elijah and God had a long enough relationship that there is really no justification for us to be in a location we shouldn't be because we've let concern lead us there. God is still in charge and has a purpose and a plan for our life. God told Elijah to return to his previous location and face tomorrow with assurance that God exists, as Jesus demonstrated and as Elijah painfully discovered. We only need to trust God with tomorrow and do what we know to do today. Anyone who wants to be used has really nothing to worry about when we do that. In a significant manner by God recognizes the divine requirement in overcoming one's own physical reactions to life, one's body, which can also be acknowledged as your human emotions are at odds with your spirit and with God's spirit within you unless you've mastered more than just physical discipline but crucify it also if becoming a great person is your greatest ambition. Manifestation of the spiritual fruit in God's nature, the cost that you have to pay to discipline yourself and to crucify the flesh. Feelings. If you can work with God in this challenging endeavor, you will be setting up your schedule to be available to carry out God's important strategy at this point in history, according to Satan, who doesn't care about you. Dislikes you because, unlike him, you are a physical person with a connection to the gods, thus he attempted to steal your life. And demolish, take your blessings, crush your hopes, and ruin your perception of yourself, etc., which is why it's crucial to turn from sin, remain in God's presence, and search first for the kingdom of God, Matthew 6 verse 33, but also God and His justice, and everything that comes to pass. Furthermore, if you are not looking for Jesus, then who are you looking for? If you are not following Jesus, who are you walking with when you wake up? Are you following my advice to seek Jesus, follow Jesus, and walk with Jesus? Since only wonderful things can come from Him, but I implore you to turn around and follow Jesus if you're following this world. I swear to put God first, because Satan only wants to kill, steal, and destroy you. And see the people around you change. This is God. He is able to, whether you choose to internalize it, act as though you're not upset, frustrated, or being extremely terrified, is extremely toxic and sends you in a destructive circle. Jesus, open up to me and let me know everything. Do you really believe He is God? Will stamp His foot and give you a scowl if you tell Him the truth and acknowledge that you don't comprehend what's going on, or sincerely question why He isn't appearing. He isn't like us, humans, who are. He is God. Take everything from Him. If you are unfaithful, get angry, lash out, and fail. Because He is capable of handling everything, regardless of what has been taken from you or lost. If you surrender it to God, like you have in the past, He will bring you more blessings. More than you could hope for or ask. He'll put things right and provide you with more than you was misplaced or pilfered. The Bible claims that when you place your trust in God, He rewards you. God wants to multiply your pleasure, peace, wisdom, and health by giving you a double share. Finances, a doubling share of His favor in all spheres of your existence. When individuals say there is no God, it really amazes me because of the way I consider things. Even though it isn't guaranteed to you, you know that even though you can't see it tomorrow, cannot view your test paper, but you are aware that you can use books to review, for it makes you more intelligent and increases your test score. There are a lot of them. There are things in this world that we cannot see, but we are aware of them, yet no one ever has faith in God. Although we cannot see God, He is like our test paper. When we edit His sentences, they provides us with wisdom and insight. He is everywhere, but because you can't, though some of you are, He is a light shining on you, so when you see Him, you won't trust Him. Able to understand that I'm saying this out of love rather than rage. God is pleading with you to give Him a chance, and whoever this is, you're most likely wondering why this is happening to me, why God, why I have to endure, and why I'm in excruciating pain, but won't you care about me or love me? Let me explain. You understand that God did not inflict all of these hardships on you, rather, He did it so you can get knowledge to get nearer to Him and express your suffering to Him. Isn't permanent. Something amazing is about to happen, therefore the agony you're experiencing be surrounded by tranquility, love, and calm. He has never abandoned you. Will thus talk to God if you're in pain and need someone to talk to. While everything on earth is transient, God's love never ends. What God is, you don't even comprehend how much He protects you every day. When He wakes up, He brings you through things every morning, giving you another chance to accomplish the mission He intends for you here on earth. Hardships, but He always looks out for you and is the only man. You should know that He has never left my side and that He is yours and my defender, no matter how far away He felt. 2. And cherishes you beyond measure. So before you go to sleep today, or when you have a moment, give thanks to God for keeping you safe every day. As Christians, I feel like nobody discusses the struggles we face, how frequently the adversary attacks us, and manipulating our emotions and thoughts, and the instant we make a mistake, He reminds us in our nightmares that we're simply regular individuals, which occasionally makes us doubt ourselves. Creatures being asked to spread the gospel, which is the one thing we do out of love. Someone once told me that being a Christian was easy, but just in case your God is coming sooner than you might imagine, so hold on, He's coming soon. Be ready. None of us are flawless, but do your best to establish a rapport with He and a powerful individual. Put leave of the worldly possessions that God is longing for. God is speaking out to you, and if you're seeing this, it's not by coincidence. This requires you to ensure your spot in paradise, which devotion to God opens sometimes. We pray that God would reveal to us, understand. What are you waiting for? The complete image before we may comply with Him. Have you limited your stroll with God? Please just know what you understand. Our minds will never be able to fully comprehend. In our lives, our logic would never dare to go where God desires to go. However, faith will motivate obedience, which will reveal God's hidden things. Your intellect and education can only help you achieve the goals and fate that humanity has planned for you, but your faith and obeying will enable you to access heaven's plans and God's intended destiny for you. Abraham was linked to a people group via his remarkable faith and deed of obedience to God. Supernatural scheme of heaven. Satan will attempt to get you to the left if he can't. To put it another way, sin typically makes two ditches along the way of truth. Thus, while we cross the ditch on one side, we have to be cautious not to tumble into the ditch, but on the other side, Satan would want to deceive us into believing that we are prideful and hypocritical. But he is equally content to he is the only one who can rescue us from the opposing ditch of defeat and self-loathing. Anxiety and despondency are things we need to push past. The enemy employs to divert our attention from the closeness that God desires for us to enjoy, wishes to strengthen us and establish our faith. Yet if we are afflicted with anxiety and hopelessness, detract from the intimacy we require from God. However, God's strength is evident in His frailty, and He will battle for His youngsters and rekindle hope that whatever we need can be provided by God's kindness. To put up with hardship, friends, I am aware that projecting strength and confidence or putting everything together makes things easier, but it also removes God's vulnerability. Wishes to sit quietly and let David, who He is like, strengthen you from the inside out. Because God is our light in the darkness, He is sitting with you and wiping your tears. You, my friend, are not devoid of love. Your suffering does not indicate that. Father, we discover more about your presence in the valley than we can ever learn about your presence in heaven. Mountaintop, you must realize that there is significance in the valley. God doesn't lead us through the shadows in order to harm us. Rather, He uses them to strengthen our faith in the times when we feel despair. You were not made to walk, but in those moments when we will genuinely and humbly ask God for help. Don't live without His Spirit. You won't survive that way. The enemy seeks to inflate your problems so they seem bigger than God. Your worry and concern are greater than God, much like the enemy wants you to do in your employment. Give up your devotion to God. If Job passed the heart test, can you still love Job? Your love for God has to be greater than your love for the things of this world. Worship what you worship, who you love more than God, and how can you remain obedient even when the call is difficult? 2. After being disappointed, and 3. Refusing to the ones who have wronged you to prevent you from loving and forgiving others when it's difficult to sing and believe through the suffering. No matter what you see and hear. 6 people praying right now while your words are outnumbered by your tears. Returning and taking up your cross after dropping it due to life's suffering and confessing to God that, although what I'm going through right now is unpleasant, I think things can work out for your glory and for my benefit. I adore it when God does something so deeply intimate that you can feel that you are aware that He sees you, and He reminds you in the only way that He can. If you told someone what He did, they probably would assume that He is the only God. You wouldn't believe how happy you make me. Christians don't want to push Jesus down your neck, but if you could only imagine how He can change. You can erase all of the resentment, grief, hurt, melancholy, and worry. We exalt our Lord because He is powerful. I suppose that's what suffering accomplishes. Transform you, shaping you into a person you can no longer identify. Suddenly, you're not sharing too much in the mirror's reflection. If you have too much faith in someone, you're not letting them dictate your feelings. I used to spend hours trying to prove to myself that everyone is a lovely person. Determine their motivations, and I now wish I could get back every hour I invested in them. I used to believe that regardless of how damaged a person is, know that there's a reason why they are that way, they are destructive. Yet now that I've realized that there is no reason why someone should be forced to select who or what they wish to be. To realize that the individuals you admire and find inspiring are equally imperfect, as I know that the friends you hold in such high regard are worth nothing at all. No longer injure others or weep for them, since people are merely driven to cause your heart up in order to fulfill their own narcissistic goals. I'm not ruthless and emotionally detached, yet suffering transforms and molds you into you're not the same person that you once thought you could be, but I still find being humorous, lively, impulsive, self-assured, and laughing. But occasionally, the fact is, that was just a way for me to hide from my past. When you discover a true connection, you will sense it because it is calm and effortless. You'll have a sense of being observed and reflected back to yourself. As though you are seeing a reflection of yourself in another person. Gradually, as you love the proper individuals, you'll discover that the people in this life who are meant for you won't drain or empty you out. Might give you the impression that you're difficult to adore, but gradually you will recognize that you don't have to run away from or romanticize the painful things in your life. It's not necessary for fire love to feel like a conflict or a fight. Does not need to be wounded. Slowly, you will acquire the ability to recline how to go on from someone who will only ever love you in parts with your arms. You will gradually come to realize that you cannot force someone to love you, or you cannot love someone to the fullest extent of their potential if they are not prepared. Put their hands around your heart, but you have to let them go if they won't hold it. You must give attention to the individuals in your life who help you return to who you are. You must concentrate on defending that kind of relationship and respecting that tranquility, because it is real, and I hope you come to believe in it when you finally come across it and experience it. It seems as though you are at a door and, at last, you have the keys to let yourself in with ease. There's no more fumbling in your jacket pocket to find the appropriate opening. You are no longer beating your head on things as you hurriedly reach into your bag to find the point of access. Putting your fists against the door and requesting entry as you pass through. You remove your shoes silently and hang your coat in the wardrobe. You make a pot of coffee and head home. And as you proceed, I hope you'll have the guts to take risks and try new things. Be the type of person that is willing to take chances in order to be a heartfelt leader and presence in their life. With an unwavering commitment to growing, learning, and having the most fun possible. I hope you would have the bravery to never allow fear or comfort convince you that you would be better off keeping steady. I hope you would have the guts to believe the part of you that knows there is more out there. The aspect of you that is simple to repress when you're attempting to abide by the guidelines and standards of a society that has produced a great deal of unhappiness and melancholy. I hope you find the strength to believe in the part of you that wants to liberation from those constraints and trends, and I hope you have the guts to pursue whatever it is that if Jen truly inspires you to wake up in the morning, may you have the bravery to pursue the things in life that I wish to inspire you and broaden your perspective on the world and people in it. Even if your vision for the future is different from what you had in mind, you possess the bravery to pursue it. Would you please have the guts to make the necessary changes? Have faith in the person you're developing into, and may you possess the bravery to view endings as lovely, life-changing experiences. Stepping stones, I pray you have the bravery to allow opportunity and love to pass by. You prefer rain to not be too heavy or to change without having to ask anyone's situations to be more than you can handle. I hope you have the bravery should view conclusions as the pillars of the chapters that shaped who you are without requiring their involvement for the remainder of your tale, and once that is concluded, hopefully you're brave enough to accept yourself as you are, to be your own place, and to be your. I hope you have the bravery to keep your own safe haven intact despite the losses. Should resist allowing them to eat away at your identity and persuade you that you are unworthy of the happiness you are defending or that you failed. I hope you find the bravery to see how you have loved and attempted and battled for anything to demonstrate how deeply you're the ability to sense how wonderful life may be when you give it your all rather than rejecting them or allowing them to harden you to the world. Please. May you have the bravery to proceed. May you have the bravery to part ways with grace when you are truly moved. You frequently run in wanting to support and cure people, and never wanting to give up on another person since you recognize the duality that all things have always clear-cut, especially when it comes to actions that could mislead or harm you personally, is only a person, just another human being who is attempting to understand themselves. When you see in a world like this, you can justify or rationalize nearly anything, yet thing does not obligate you to remain in its company or allow it to enter your life. You are able to accept things as they are and reconcile the logic underlying the action, but it's also critical to consider things practically, objectively, protectively. Consider whether this individual promotes clarity and tranquility in your life, provides nourishment for your mind and spirit at a deep level. Does this individual help you feel seen and understood beneath the surface of who you are? Comprehended, safe? Do they truly inspire you to trust in virtue, and do they help you feel important, yourself? If so, that link deserves your energy, deserves to be in your life, and deserves to be treasured. However, if it doesn't and you continue to hang on to people that make you feel heavier, that are untruthful with you, hold you back, and cause you to doubt your existence or your heartbeat, you must have the guts to leave this life, because a bond that never grows. You are a reflection of everyone you encounter. Why is it that we realize this? We are most authentically ourselves in the relationships we have with other people. We are only activated by our own when we look at other people. The characteristics we find objectionable in them are typically when we see aspects of ourselves that we dislike. We then have a tendency to condemn and evaluate these features that remind one of the comparison of assigning blame to 3 fingers are pointing at someone while 1 finger is pointing at another. Returning to ourselves when specific personality traits in someone causing you to respond negatively, something is coming up inside of you because it is ready to be healed, typically signifies resolved concerns from your past unresolved. Drawing betrayers incessantly is one way to do this. You are in intimate relationships because you haven't resolved the issue of your parents' abandonment in the past. What you are witnessing is an expression of your conviction that you can never trust anyone. Every individual we encounter in life appears at the ideal time because of your sentiments. Pause in our lives to consider anything we must resolve internally. People you engage with are revealing aspects of yourself to you and, in the end, giving you a chance to. Since our goal is to identify the things we don't love and learn how to love them, love yourself. I adore that our best teachers are often the ones that irritate us the most. It may surprise you to learn that the best strategy to step away from bad relationships with those we can only love and accept is the degree to which we accept and adore ourselves. When we develop a habit of learn from your connections, you'll soon find that you're able to identify bad qualities in others without passing judgment or developing an attachment to someone else's turmoil. If you find yourself in a partnership with someone who regularly mistreats you in any manner, it can be beneficial to restrict your exposure to that individual or to stay away from them entirely. This is just beneficial to you. Following your decision to accept the lessons you have learned from the relationship, choose to. The good news is that you can forgive both the other person and yourself. The desirable when we primarily pick certain actions, the behaviors we observe in others also reflect ourselves. Ideas of love. While we concentrate on our relationships, we live in a reality of love. Everyone we encounter has grown to embody the light within, which we bring forth in others. Into path to aid in our memory of this, the reality that I cherished you so deeply, and I would be at a loss if you were to leave me, or if I were to consider you every moment of the day, for as long as it takes, and for you too. I rarely find someone I enjoy talking to because I leave so readily. Spend hours on the phone, or when I receive a text from you, or when I hear your voice, everything goes black and I only think of you. Or when I wake up, I know I have someone who loves me when I get up, but that love might wane. So with ease, I put my faith in you to support me and never abandon me. When I most needed you, I always forgive and forget, but I wish you gave me the same level of attention as I do, but I still have a million thoughts. I hope you continue to love me as much as I do, but I suppose though the world simply doesn't function that way, I still want you to know that I care. Be alright. I still want you to contact me if something is wrong since, as I previously stated, even though you claim to have been there for me when I needed it, I am the kind of person who would be there for you in such situation. I'm the type of person who will just cry when I feel like you're upset with me. Even after we reconcile, to be depressed or dwell on anything I did to offend you all day and you reply it's alright, that's just how my brain functions. I genuinely strive to be the best person, but it's difficult when I'm on my own. I keep trying, but I'm still upset with how you handled it and how you handled me. That's the reason I'm still thinking about you. I never imagined that you would be involved in my issues, but here we are. All I want for is an apology, an explanation of your actions, or an explanation of why I don't want you to, because if you had responded the way you did, I would feel so much better. Be made to do something against your will, instead of making you care, I want you to want to show concern. I want you to feel horrible about what you did and depressed. And ask themselves if I'm okay. Since I'm not, I might even smile and laugh. My face, but beneath it all, it's not what it seems like. I actually want you to. You always act like you've just met, and I never get an ask how you're doing or an are you okay. I genuinely care about you so much, even though I am a stranger, and I have never felt it's difficult to find someone like you the way you do, but I suppose that's a good thing because I don't want someone else to place me in my current situation. I don't want to be depressed all the time. I don't want to believe that I am only in error, yet it seems like no one gives a damn about how they treat other people. I believe it's a game, and I'm doing my best to express how I'm feeling. To communicate everything and attempt to improve my mood, but only in the way that I truly feel. I'm not sure how to explain being in love with someone who is currently unable to return the favor. Please realize that sometimes life happens and this is not a reflection on your worth. Weathers people in various ways, and we're all just trying to get by on this planet. Learn about ourselves in an effort to heal the rifts in our souls. Cope with our inner burdens when we're ready, and when someone else is not. Occasionally we attempt and someone else does not. Occasionally we pour ourselves into another person, and they are unable to hold all of who we are. Sometimes we choose to make things work, and other times we struggle and someone gives up. And someone else determines they are unable to select that same reality, and that's acceptable as ultimately if you can't keep asking someone to meet you where you are if they don't. If someone cannot offer you what you actually want, they cannot return your love. Deserve you must see how much it hurts for them to act before they are ready is a way to destroy yourself because your heart is so big and delicate item that you can't keep attempting to make it smaller than what someone else. You cannot continuously pour your love into a vessel that is unable to hold it. Cannot continue to pour your love into a soul that isn't aware of everything they are getting from you. If you continue to pour your love into a closed heart, it will only become empty. You must leave this person empty and allow them to develop on their own. Words, you can't love someone to the fullest extent of your abilities. They must accomplish that on their own if they are not prepared, and yes, it is excruciatingly. It's tough to leave someone you love truly. It's really difficult to lay everything of that love down to block off what your heart perceives in another person. However, you will discover how to pour all of your love into walking away. You will discover how to put the wrong person back into yourself and learn how to pour it into all you want in life, and you'll discover how to do the same for your development into your work and your expectation. That you'll discover how to defend your knowing how to defend its worth, and when you educate yourself that you deserve to be loved without having to ask for it or rely on others to give it to them by chasing that love away, you let the kind of beauty that chooses you in. You give yourself over to the kind of individuals who see you just as freely as you choose to. You and realize right away that you are a unique and lovely thing, that you open oneself to fresh starts and a future where things happen in ways that don't harm or not demolish you but rather elevate you and demonstrate your deservingness of. Usually, when we think about pure love, we picture it as being incredibly enjoyable, and in actuality, true love is all about work, the poet says in a beautiful, light-hearted manner. Like many others, Rainer Maria Rilke made a wise observation. They turned love into a game and a source of pleasure because they misinterpreted its role in my life and believed that play, even while enjoying myself, was more blissful than working. Nothing makes one happier than working. And love can only be work because it is the ultimate kind of happiness. The recognition of one another by two people is the fundamental component of true love. As different as they truly are, we are all aware that the custom is to convene someone we like and who we present our best selves to, or perhaps a false selves one we think will appeal more to the person we wish to draw in. When the whole authentic self emerges when the good deeds become too much to preserve. If the masks are removed, disappointment occurs far too frequently. When hearts are crushed and feelings are damaged, people experience it after the fact. That the loved one is a stranger and that it was an instance of mistaken identity. Instead of seeing what true love actually was, they saw what they wanted to see. A distinct narrative. When it occurs, people typically feel connected to entering into a relationship when each other's fundamental identity is at risk is precisely since we believe there is nowhere to hide, and we are aware of the ecstasy that as this love supports us and pushes us to develop. We feel. Eric Butterworth says in True Love is a transformative love story, unique insight that allows us to recognize a person for who they truly are, but also fully embracing the platform he currently uses to express himself. True love accepts potential without illusion that it is a current reality. The individual who, although not currently qualified, has a genuine and steadfast dedication to supporting him in realizing his aspirations for personal growth, which, although we may perceive it better than he does, we typically believe that love just accepts the other person for who they are, a person who is not one of us. The painful truth that we are powerless to alter, shape, and transform someone into the, even if we may wish for our ideal partner to be that way. When we commit to real love, we are dedicated to undergoing transformation and having the beloved act upon them in a way that allows us to achieve greater self-actualization. This dedication to change is selected and repeatedly agreed upon by both parties. In the most prevalent description of pure love I have heard in talks was one. It proclaimed true love to be unconditional. However, for it to really thrive, it needs a persistent dedication to positive struggle and transformation. It's much like living in the desert and longing for rain feels almost like an attempt to revitalize a decaying, lifeless coffin, as though I've started a fire that I can't even put out. It's similar like ascending a steep mountain and then falling off the precipice that's on the other side. What it's like to think of deceased loved ones. You might even start crying since you're missing them. Someone or people who brought you so much joy that they may have even left their mark on your soul, and that is unsettling, chaotic, and depressing since we frequently push away the people we care about the most. Due to the internal suffering we unknowingly endure, as well as even worse, once the soul bears the mark, the harm is irreversible. In an instant, the people you cherish are gone, and there's not much you can do about it. Even though I miss them and cry most days, I've learned to never ever put my happiness first. Putting difficulties in another person's palm, what a sad thing to do, for since we are all human and struggle with our own issues, it would be incredibly self-serving. To expose our wounds so that someone else could bandage them. Some days, I still cry and write about how much I'm missing them, and most of those days make me feel queasy since it looks like everyone else has moved on, except me, caught between the dirt. And when I'm having a bad day, I just have to remind myself that I'm only human. It's common to reflect on those who have passed away since, as humans, we carry pieces and bits of individuals we've loved and lost, and it's hard to forget such things. Make me tell myself to feel the agony instead of brushing it under the rug. And handle it nevertheless. Frequently, writing about it is helpful because it's ironic, because I feel less crazy and more like it's natural. Entirely is normal, but sometimes I need to remind myself for a minute or two that I am a human, and that all people experience mental pain, sadness, and other emotions. We will all experience some grief in our lives, but it's important to move past a loophole of what you could have been or done for yourself is here, and it's lovely right now. During the days when my heart is heavy and amid your chaos and misery, when I feel trapped, I tell myself things like, heavy on my chest, while everyone else has moved on with their lives, I am caught in the middle of everything that once was, And I keep telling myself things like that because sometimes I witness what I consider to be a brief moment of madness by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Please share this with your channel to help it reach 10,000 divine followers before a video to just 10 people. If you want to fulfill your dreams and share incredible thanks, type amen to affirm gratitude for watching.